Should Rilla Roo be in Crash Team Racing nitro-fueled? What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a video that I know some of you are gonna dislike, but you know, only some. See, there's a bit of a controversial character that people have been asking to be in Crash Team Racing nitro-fueled, and that character is Rilla Roo. But who exactly was Rilla Roo? Rilla Roo was a Crash Bandicoot character from the PlayStation 1 era. No, he was not in the original trilogy or in the original Crash Team Racing. He was, however, in the first post-Naughty Dog Crash Bandicoot, however, Crash Bash. Crash Bash was basically a response to Nintendo's Mario Party. Though critically it did not do so hot, a lot of fans, myself included, really enjoyed this game. Now the roster had everyone that you could easily recognize from the Crash franchise, except for one, and that was Rilla Roo. However, oddly enough, this was the only time we have ever seen Rilla Roo in a game. After this, he just never showed up again. Now, even though Rilla only showed up to one Crash game, many people have a strong fondness towards this character, but also a strong hate. See, Rilla Roo hits a special area because of the fact that he is technically a nostalgic character because he was made during the days of Crash on his original console, the PlayStation 1. However, this was also the first Crash character that Naughty Dog did not make. So he kind of stands on his own. So the big question of the day is simply, should Rilla Roo be in Crash Team Racing? I don't know. Quickly though, a huge shout out to Megeska for this awesome fan art of Rilla. Thank you for granting me permission to use it. The link to their art page is in the description below. Before recent events, I would have sided with the choice of no. See, he was just a filler character in Crash Bash. We barely know anything about him, and he was not an OG Crash character as this game was not made by the original developers. The game was also a spin-off, not even an original platformer style game. However, recent events have changed my point of view a little bit. When the new trailer dropped for Crash Team Racing showing off Nitro Kart content, then French articles started seeping in declaring that Thomas Wilson has said that all characters from Nitro Kart will be in the game. Then when I interviewed the man himself, he said that Crash Bandicoot would be in the game, basically confirming what the previous articles have said about the entire Crash Nitro Kart roster being in the game. This changed my mind entirely on what this game is and supposed to be. This is now more than a remaster or even a remake, but almost an entirely deluxe version game with the mechanics of the original. This is what made me change my opinion on whether or not Rilla Roo should be in the game. I also asked you guys on a YouTube post and a Twitter post, and the results were almost identical. The three options were yes, no, and indifferent. With about 2,500 votes in grand total, only about 13% said no, meaning that 87% of people either said yes or indifferent, with the majority of that 87% being yes. Now, allegedly, Rilla Roo was supposed to be in Crash Nitro Kart, but was cut, along with Embryo, Nina Cortex, Ripperoo, and the Komodo brothers. Now, this is allegedly. I tried finding an official source on it, but could not find anything, so this might have just been a rumor. But if it were true, most of the characters that were cut are characters that were either already in the original CTR or are in the Insane trilogy and can be brought over to the game quite easily with the exception of Nina Cortex. Think of adding Rilla Roo and the other cut content characters almost like Stormy Ascent, which was a cut level from the original Crash but became DLC. Now I got one more argument though. Some of the characters from Crash Nitro Kart that are being added to the game mean almost nothing in terms of nostalgic value to some people. If I were to approach Crash Bandicoot fans, I would bet that more people would be able to recognize Rilla Roo over Zem, and Entrance. I'm just saying it's hard to use the relevancy argument against Rilla Roo when you have these side characters in the game. However, in all honesty, I am indifferent to whether or not Rilla Roo should be in the game. Yes, I'm gonna cop out and fence sit on this one. While I still stand and believe on what I said before about how Rilla was just a filler character in a spin-off game, he stands in a nostalgic gray area where no other Crash Bandicoot character stands, being on the premier game console of the original franchise, but made by a different company. But here is the thing. More content is simply more content. If Rilla was an option as a racer either day one or DLC, it's not going to ruin the game. It's not going to make the game bad. He is an option out of an entire roster of characters. I don't have any problems with Rilla being added to the game as long as it doesn't throw the game's balance off. Now, if for some reason adding Rilla Roo would throw the balance off, then please do not add him. I'm not going to fight against Rilla Roo joining CTR, but I'm also not going to fight for him. If he's there, cool. If he's not, whatever. But I'm going to ask you guys, do you think Rilla Roo should be in the game? Comment below and let me know. By the way, a huge shout out to my Patreons and sponsors on the channel. I appreciate your support and letting me be able to do this full time as I got a family to feed. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon is in the description below, and be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And while you're at it, why not check out another video I recently made? Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.